And now, unfortunately, Giants have got to be the team that faces that version of FNATIC.
Unless we're going to a different roster of Giants, we have to acknowledge the fact that this is a team that, you know, hasn't played against top-tier opponents. FNATIC is the best team they've played against, hands down. When it comes to bind, same thing holds true. Let's see if they've got what it takes to bring it across the line, because, hey, two opening kills, great start. Vodafone Giants overrun the site. They're going to be able to get the plant down. This is where FNATIC now have to try to fight their way back in, and the right clicks almost do it for them.
It's not looking good. Already, dephh is going to drop one more, and, well, it's left all on to Doma. I don't feel too confident in this one. Maybe he can earn an alt orb or two, but it's not going to be the case. Of course, looking again back at the comp a little bit, I'm quite excited to see dapr on the stage. It's something that's not really happened too often, but I feel like it's always been like the opportunity for players who are just ridiculously strong on duelists to just come in as like this battle sage. But it also gives a few more opportunities when it comes to, I guess, a lot of the executions we've seen, especially recently on attack. We've gone back to that almost like, okay, we're going to push onto the A site. We're going to go through bathrooms. We're going to put down a wall. We're going to get in the afterplant, and we're going to play like absolute rats. So, I think FNATIC were always, this sounds a bit harsh, but they were king of the rat plays. Like, they were very good at just falling into those afterplants, and this will just give them an easier way to set them up, if anything.
Oh, Hoodie, he's been let down quite a lot, and there's the swing from Doma to finish him. The Classics managing to get a nice upgrade, but Meadow is here to defend it. No, he's just going to stare at them as they steal it. Okay, Doma spotted them coming onto the side as well. So whilst they might think they've got the jump, FNATIC are about to give away the game. But with the flash going out, it doesn't really stop them. The Nano Swarm keeps them in position. Patino's able to stare at that push out of bathroom. There's not really too much to worry about here for Vodafone Giants. They should be able to get that plant, play the long-range duels, basically swapping sides with the defenders. And at that point, I mean, look at the weapons. It's pretty much only Magnum that should be able to take a fight.
Yeah, and at the moment, they're just playing very passively. No real reason to take the peek, although Magnum does actually get back in. They find themselves, they make themselves an individual duel. Fatino already getting the trades back, however, and eventually the round closed out. Giants, okay, it was a little bit shaky at the beginning. 2 kills to the other team is not fantastic, especially when you consider what was invested, but at least it went their way. They didn't lose too many players. It's not the most costly of rounds, and they do get the rifle back as well.
Yep, indeed they do. Getting that upgrade in the end. And I think that just looking at how things have gone over on the previous map, having this 2-0 lead for Vodafone Giants is invaluable. It really is this little bit of a morale boost just to get off to a good start in the map. Let's see if they can continue it. Because if you take a look at the weapons, Tom, it's not a traditional bonus round, is it? They obviously bought up in the previous round with their 2 rifles. They've got another one purchased here. So a really, really heavy weaponry advantage for them coming into the first buy round of FNATIC. And they've already taken Doma out.
You can see still battling for control. A lot of utility being expended into bathrooms just to make sure that they're not going to lose it, basically, but all of it's almost ended up as a bit of a ruse. Like, you see all of this utility from Brimstone, for example, going out on A, and then they've fallen back into a B push. The problem is it has now been spotted. So the peek out from Magnum is going to give them that extra information. Bolster is also going to get tagged up by the drone. But for now, at least, FNATIC have a reasonable idea, it seems, of what's going on. That was definitely not the plan for that utility.
Not quite. Maybe meant to pull it back. Mystic's up top here, and he's gonna swing for a quick double. Hello, down into hook or into lamps he goes. And at this point, FNATIC, no. How is Dirk just snuck up like that? The wall drops at just the right time. Fatino, though, returns the double. FNATIC now have to fight back in, but there's only 20 seconds left, and that spike is in danger. There's a flank coming through. It's spotted, but not dealt with. The flash about to make it around the corner. Blinds Fatino completely. He's going to get hit by another, and it's all about delaying that clock. 10 seconds, and Fatino needs to kill one of these players to get the plant in. Only 1 left, and it's gone. He didn't have time to plant it anyways, but Boaster deals with him, putting it 2-1. And FNATIC went out what was sort of a buy round for Vodafone Giants with the utility they had to reinvest into, with the extra rifle they bought, the Spectres that they purchased up. That cost them a lot.
Some stars in this reality.
I think this was the big turning point of the round. Like, Mystic able to get away with 2 there and fall back into the site. It meant that they needed a huge play. And Fatinho, you know what? He did make things very costly for them, but it's not like there's a massive amount of finances still being available. So, for example, Meadow in this round is going to be left on a pistol. So it's hitting both teams. This round is going to be huge, and for now at least, they're doing well to actually deny this space. That's one of the things that is clear FNATIC want to try and take control of. A lot of the time you'll see the defensive wall used to try and lock down showers before anybody actually pushes, but Giants are just not allowing it, using a lot of their own utility just to make sure they keep this control, and it means they get that all-important orb, which gives them the orbital strike.
Now, fighting for the orb control at the start of the round is so important. Durka has been heard walking out of bat. They might see this as an opportunity to seize that little bit of space. The slow orb gone in. Hoodie has given away his position, and so Durka won't be over-aggressing into it. It looks like David P is sat with those smokes ready to go down on the A site, but I noticed the spike is still over towards B, with 3 players on their way towards that side of the map, pushing into hookah, gaining a bit of control. This is going to put FNATIC in a tough spot in terms of committing any players towards side holes. Like, now that they're starting, they've committed a nade out on B, they're making a little bit of noise. You kind of want to rotate that extra player off the A site. But having seen contact so recently inside of Bath and not having any sort of information to play off of there, you're not going to rotate over. So the early round has been very successful for Vodafone Giants, and now the full push comes in. Great orbital strike to push Magnum to the open. Good trade onto Doma, but his nade actually picks up Ambi as well. Keeps the numbers even. The spike being planted and the cover's there. Fatino ready for them to come out from spawn. A 3K for him to put 1 man left with it all to do. It is Mystic. Without any utility to play with, he's in a pretty tough spot, but Tom, if he gets 1 kill, his ulti's going to be online.
Oh, timing going to be everything, and David P wraps around the corner and manages to win himself the duel. Definitely got a little bit close there, and I think especially for Giants, I was going to say, it makes me very nervous seeing them go for such late executions, because if you look for FNATIC, they're actually holding on to an awful lot of their utility, but it's the ultimates that just make things so much more difficult. Like FNATIC getting forced out of their positions, and then, again, this play from Fatinho, just making sure that they're not going to be able to get onto the spike, not be able to deny it at the last few seconds, because there was only about 8 or 9 seconds left on the clock. And for now, at least, it's going to quell FNATIC and their break back. Now, financially, Mitch, they're kind of stuffed. And by the looks of it, they're going to take themselves a pause.
Yeah, so this is a really important round for FNATIC, though, in one way, because Vodafone Giants have got money, right? They're going to have rifles, but they don't have a lot of it either. If FNATIC can manage to do damage in this round, it puts Vodafone Giants on the back foot, because then coming into the next, the economy is pretty much even. That's if they get like 2 or 3 kills. 3 would be ideal. But if you take a look at where the ultimates are at, Tom, you have a Viper's Pit to play with. You're 1 away from getting the Showstopper, 1 away from the Res, and Seekers are online. That is a lot to play with. Yeah. The possibility of even force buying up isn't necessarily out of the question on some players. In fact, you saw Doma for a second toy with the idea of taking the Judge. And fighting for the early orb control could really change the direction of this round entirely.
Yeah, even dropping a few pistols over, so they're spreading the wealth a little bit. He had some extra cash for this round, but this is important for Giants. They don't want to lose too many players. This is a good opportunity to get off to a flying start, and well, they're using their utility very well. Just look how much damage they've already done just based off Molotovs, based off nades. They are not allowing FNATIC to hold on to any of these angles. They are clearing every single position available to them. And by the looks of it, getting information as they go. For now, at least, looking like a very good start. And Boaster, he's going to get stuck, but the remaining players have actually pushed up alongside him, trying to pincer in onto Hoodie. I think he's realized now, and they might be a little bit more hesitant to try and push any further forward.
Seekers are used up on B, confirming that this is at least an A heavy play with a lot of players outside of there. Hoodie getting dropped. That leaves David P in a pretty bad position. The Res is going to come in, but he's now spotted, and there's 3 players nearby. No. In fact, that fight's even won by Boaster. FNATIC are now in a 4 versus 2. This is pretty unbelievable. Durka tucked in the corner, doesn't catch them off guard. With Fatina trading it back, man advantage still sits to FNATIC. The spike is theirs, and Vodafone Giants can take it where they want. What they don't know is that Magnum has been sat on this site for most of the round. He's just made it back into hookah, and now is pushing up close, ready to take a duel. The flash is sent out to confirm that they're coming. There's 12 seconds on the clock, Tom. They need to get on there now. 5 seconds to get in and plant it, or the round is going to be done and dusted. It has to be started. It has to be done now, and it's not. They've already lost. Oh, what a disaster. And as Ambi tries to, I don't know, get an extra ult point, he ends up losing his rifle to a pistol. That is a disaster for Vodafone Giants, Tom. A round that I thought FNATIC would have a chance in if they can get that showstopper online and really make something happen with those ultimates. And instead, they pop Seekers, they have to res, sure, but they win it with nothing.
I think, like, obviously, I think looking at this round from a Giants perspective is almost just going to be a little bit depressing because it just completely fell apart. I'm more impressed with what FNATIC did, and I think that's what I want to focus on, because Boaster was forced into that TB. That wasn't really a choice, but then the whole team adapts to play around that by pushing through middle, and that's what was so impressive. We're going to have to skip a little bit onwards because it looks like this is going to be an incredibly fast play. Ultimates being combined for the side of Giants to give themselves an opening pick, and it was going fairly well until Boaster finds a double.
Yeah, that was a great start from Giants, but maybe not a great finish. They're starting to lose a couple of numbers, and the spikes down on the site. And, well, with the weaker weapons they have, the range duels aren't exactly ones that they're favored in anymore now that their comrades have been dropped. With Boaster picking up another, it leaves it all onto Meadow. And, well, he has lockdown. I just don't quite see him using it here. Hoping that somebody pushes up into him. But that wall popped up. That's a full magazine gone. He's on 13 bullets of a Stinger. Now, Tom, you need a lot of bullets to kill someone in a Stinger, and he has 3 opponents. Well. Yeah, 30 total, though. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said 13. Okay.
No, so
I misheard.
I don't know that he's going to be able to kill them all with this. So he'll have to drop out of hookah and upgrade to another weapon in 30 seconds. Plus, they're all here ready for him to swing out because they know he's in hookah. And they've even made a little pyramid. So, you know, you could kind of see from that little description, things were kind of stacked against him, as they might be for Vodafone Giants soon, because that lead that they had after an eco lost has turned into a tied up scoreline.
Yeah, I definitely think that might be a round that they live to regret. They also committed a fair amount in here, and while, as I said, the start of it was decent, but it's these couple of kills coming back from Boaster, and then you've also just got the committal of the Astral Divide or the Cosmic Divide, which, I'll be honest, I'm not surprised he used it in that round, because we've seen so many times the Astra Ultimate just come in and almost burden a team. The other issue as well is, that was an investment round from Giants. That wasn't them ecoing. That wasn't them saving all of their cash. That was an attempted break back. So normally if it was like a round like this, for example, they get a couple of kills, it's not too bad. But when you put everything you have into it, they would have wanted a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. It's not about how many credits you spend necessarily in some of these rounds. It is also that ult economy that they've now fallen behind in for nothing. And of course, the showstopper is still online for FNATIC if they get into a bit of a dicey spot. In fact, we might see it used here. Doma is on the site with 2 of his teammates close by. But if a few kills come in from Vodafone Giants, that's where this big rocket launcher can come in to deal damage. They've heard 2 on long now because they know there's a player on the right side. Bit of information to play with, and I think I'm actually surprised there's no rotates coming over, but I guess that's because of how passive FNATIC like to play on this defense, with the 2 guys still sat very far back on A.
A little bit risky for Magnum facing into some of his opponents, but the weaker weaponry, and again, at the moment it just seems like FNATIC have just been burning out the clock. Like, they're just basically making it so they have to execute within the last few seconds. Flashes being popped just to try and slow them down if they do try and get into the site. It's some nice shots coming through, though. This is one of the closer rounds once again. They don't quite check properly. Oh, it's got awkward, but Magnum will switch up to his pistol and hit the headshot. Now, in isolation, a pretty good round. They make it costly with not really using too much in general, other than just, as said, the investments into the marshals, for example. But it's still another round on the board for FNATIC. So, again, we're looking to see if there's a break back here.
1 enemy remaining.
10 seconds left.
That is good damage, but as we said as well, the fact that Showstopper, the fact that Viper's Pit is online, these are big game-changing ultimates. At the same time, Vodafone Giants have got their own. Orbital Strike just came up. Meadow has had that lockdown for, I think, the entirety of this game so far, probably since Icebox. And so this is a reasonable time for Vodafone Giants to come in, call that pause, get up the rifles. This is going to be a big investment from them, and they don't want FNATIC to just run away with this. We said that 2-0 start, the 3-1 lead. Those are important things after being smashed on the previous map to really just keep you in it mentally. And when it comes down to how things are going now, FNATIC extend up, they hit 6, they hit 7. I think you're going to start to get a sense of deja vu pretty damn quickly.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. As I said, I even mentioned it in the last map. They haven't lost a map yet. So we don't know if they have that ability to just mentally reset, mentally bounce back. I would say there's a lot of experienced players on their roster, so I'm not going to like worry for them just yet, but I do want to see a response because they've had a few close rounds. They've also had a silly loss, and I think that can also just break a team's mentality, losing a round like they did to Pistols. Now, FNATIC are not like miles out in front. 1 round difference economy, not off the charts, but they do have themselves some decent ultimates here, and already Mystic looking to lock down mid.
I'm looking at Giants, and it seems like they're scared immediately of that Viper's Pit. FNATIC have also pushed through Bath and put down their wall. This 3-man B setup is going to be here no matter what, and I think Giants are intending to pop some ultimates and going for this. Gonna have the... Oh, that's really nice! The counter to the showstopper. David P pops down the orbital strike, not aggressively, but just to stop them pushing. The push had already been committed to, though. The blast pack's in use, and so a free kill is found. Great reaction. They were ready for that.
Yeah, Mystic's gone through the TP. They can just escape here. There's no one on that A site anymore, and this has to have been her. Okay, Meadow's still going to just be lurking around. It's an interesting play from Turker, but I guess he assumed everybody had fallen back at that point. Now it's left on to Boaster. He's in the right place, but the amount of players who are going to be homed in on this angle are not going to give him a chance. Great response from Giants. I'm on FNATIC. Now it's their turn to see if they can break back, because financially, again, they're going to have some issues now.
Yeah, I feel like we have had this sense of tension over the last couple of rounds, waiting for FNATIC to use those ultimates, especially the showstopper. And over on the Vodafone Giants side, no doubt they felt the same. This time, it was just an incredible amount of preparation. I do think that they got, in a way, lucky that they had put the guiding light down on B long. It had seen a player, and so the orbital strike was already being considered to take that player down. And then it just so happens that Doma pops the showstopper, and they think, hey, what's the harm? Let's try to stop him pushing long, get a bit of map control, and they ended up with a free kill out of it. The really unfortunate set of events for the FNATIC side, but very good planning by Vodafone Giants and good awareness. They still have the lockdown to play with. I feel like I'm going to be saying that all half. Meadow doesn't seem to like using it just yet, but this could be the round if they get a little bit of hookah control.
Doma has turned into a monitor, it seems, but a little bit of support when it comes to the utility. Waiting through the back, but Vitinho has managed to win that duel. Just hopping straight through, finds the kill. And now things are looking a little bit shaky. They've still got 3 players on this site, but it's a risky play from Magnum, and everything's falling apart. Ambi with another double opener to the site, and this round is locked.
Good systematic pushes. I really don't know how Vitinho got away with what he did, just dashing straight into the site with his blast packs, but that opening, taking over control of hookah, it's the perfect foothold to push through to the B site. The reaction on long to pop the flash, swing is 3, absolutely on point. Ambi takes down a second player over in the cubby as well, which I think was like a spray transfer or a very quick reset. Overall, I really couldn't be happier with what we just saw from Vodafone Giants. And Tom, well, they still have the lockdown. I want to see you get used, but I guess when you go towards a site and you kill everyone, you're like, oh, well, there's no point just dropping it for no reason.
I do like the fact that I think they've started to not disrespect, but show less respect to a lot of the utility that's been put down by FNATIC, because I think a lot of the earlier rounds, and similarly on the last map as well, like we saw FNATIC almost just using delay tactics. Like we've got Boaster basically just popping smokes, like every time another goes down, there's another star back on the floor again when it comes to hookah. So if you're not going to push through it, you're just going to wait until there's 20 seconds left, and then you have a gravity well, and then you have a nade, and there's just so much delaying power for this FNATIC defensive side that you have to start making plays through it. You have to start taking some risks, and that's worked for Giants.
He had a beautiful wrapped up skin. I liked it. They didn't tear it off. Oh, David P. Oh, that time it could be bad. The nade's on its way through. He's caught on the walk back and survives with 40 HP. I mean, he can count his lucky stars on that one. Avoiding these pistols is all... Oh, well, that's not what was intended. Always going to be the name of the game. Survive with all your players. And it looks like Vodafone Giants are doing a pretty damn good job of that. Only 2 left alive over on the FNATIC side. Durka having himself a Vandal to play with. But what are the chances he clutches it out, you know? Gotta feel pretty safe.
Last player
Even better.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the same as last round where he's just not even going to challenge for it. Not really worth the risk at this point, and well, making sure that they have the extra finances for the next round is going to be pretty important. But yeah, it seems like, again, the pace change from Giants. They wait, at least in the early stages, for any aggression, deny it, and then just go for these fast pushes into the site. Make all of that utility null and void, and almost has to be used for some sort of retake. And while for Durka, staying alive here, I don't think it'd be the end of the world if he died, especially because it would be back-to-back saves in a row anyway. Any ultimate points, though? Well, he's only 1 away from having that res.
Going to be pretty valuable coming into the last 2 rounds. And hey, he has the res now as well, with him falling. Of course,
he earned it.
You don't really get any punishment for that. You die in mid-round or after the spike explosion, doesn't really matter. Or not really, it just doesn't matter. It means you didn't fight for the spike. You got caught trying to save your weapon. So, Vodafone Giants 6-4. Lots of economy, not really something we're going to worry about. They're pretty close to getting some impactful ultimates online as well, Tom. There's a possibility we don't see the showstopper out of Doma for the rest of the half, but Patino's only 2 away. And more than likely, that's going to come online. And at 6-4, it could be absolutely massive if it has some decent sway over around.
Damn, that is an early pop, but they're actually going to just push straight on to Durka and Magnum. This aggression has just been punished almost instantly, but have they spotted Boaster? He's been here most of the time. It's going to be the late Tiger to come through and tag him. He should be dead here. Somehow manages to get one onto Hoodie, but Fatino is on fire at the moment, dominating in the openers, taking the site for himself, and now it's left onto Doma to try and shut him out, and Fatino will hold strong once again.
And Fatino's better when he's blast packing, when people are blast packing him. It looks like he's just got the raise mechanics figured out. And we said it's 7-4. We're in a position where Vodafone Giants are already pretty comfortable, right? This has been a solid attack side for them. And moving into what will be the final round, they're pretty close to having their ultis online. I think Fatino has now earned himself that showstopper. And this is where things get very scary for FNATIC, because they have a very strong ability to open this up. Also, might not surprise you to learn, lockdown's still online for Vodafone Giants. They've been saving it for 12 rounds now. It has to be pulled out eventually, and this is pretty much their last shot. So let's see how this one shapes up, because for FNATIC, they don't have anything that they can sort of explosively enter. Well, I thought they weren't going to check him. Yeah, well, you're dead now, buddy.
Yeah, as said, any aggression that FNATIC has attempted just haven't worked. Oh, that's a free one at least. The patience of Mystic, but unfortunately, I think he was hoping for a little bit more. Finally, the lockdown's going to be used, something that it just doesn't seem like Meadows really needed. He's been on the lurk in most cases, and well, he'll make sure there's nobody within this site. Magnum's flank is cut off as well, and now it's left all onto Durka, and Meadow is there to close it. A bit of a slow start for the Giants, but their resurgence, their adaptations have looked incredible. And now once again, well, I say once again, for the first time, we're going to see FNATIC on the back foot.
I do love that Meadows lockdown didn't even get to activate during the actual half. It happened after time. So for that entire half of 8-4, those 12 rounds, we didn't see the lockdown out of them. Now, when you get 8 rounds on the attack side and you don't need to use your lockdown, hey, you're pretty happy with that, because it's such an impactful ultimate a lot of the time. Getting your lamps controlled, getting B long, and you can pretty much clear out the whole site. And they didn't need to, and they still have doubled the rounds of FNATIC. That is damn impressive, especially considering the fact that they got rolled on the previous map.
For sure. Bind looking like a much more comfortable map. And again, as I said, I think the calling that when they changed things up midway through the half was impressive. Now we get to see what FNATIC have been working on. The fake smoke allured, at least initially, and the counter flashes to at least throw them off and push them back. Another star to be placed, but it doesn't seem like this is too much of an aggressive move just yet from FNATIC. The spike's still down a little bit further back, and I think they're watching to see if there's any aggression. There is, but it's going to come right into Boaster's face. Doma is done as well. Hoodie with a double opener for the round, and well, FNATIC, their choice has been decided for them, Mitch, as they're now going to A.
Yeah, not the cleanest of fights we've seen inside of Hookah. A couple of mistakes, mechanical hiccups, have led us to this A push. The wall is down and FNATIC want to get that spike down as well, but dephh is so ready. Never mind. Asleep at the wheel, taken down. Flash is good. Meadow under pressure has to give up this control until Hoodie comes in to back him up, and the push towards the site will be there. He's traded positions with the Tiger, and that's netted him a quick double for 4 kills in this pistol. Hoodie has been so good in this series, man. On Icebox, with that Marshall in hand, I had full faith, and now a 4K in the pistol to put Vodafone Giants 1 away from double digits so early on in this game.
Yeah, it's starting to look like FNATIC have yet to find the solution. And on the other side of things, what has been a comfort pick when it comes to agents for Giants just looks to be, well, running riot. I'm always skeptical when I see teams, especially on Bind, like opting away from a Viper, but they're calling me impressed.
Looking for those double digits. We'll be very impressed.
Oh, is this going to be a utility combo? This is what they do best. They're trying to pull people into the bathrooms. It's not gone great. They'll get 1, but that'll be all.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, as I was going to say, FNATIC had the pistols, right? So like, you'd be very impressed if they could actually get anything done. 2 kills, 3 kills, fantastic. But just the one. Vodafone Giants 10-4, double digits on the board. They are inches away from taking this all the way to map 3. And fighting FNATIC for that upper bracket spot. What a turnaround this has been from map 1 to right here. They're looking a lot more structured, a lot more in control, and FNATIC's on-the-fly adaptations just aren't cutting it on such a small map like Bind. It's difficult to really sell the same kind of misinformation and find the same space as you do on Icebox.
The weirdest thing as well at the moment is, well, I don't know, weirdest thing, maybe the most impressive thing is if Giants carry on the way they are, like the biggest defeat FNATIC have ever had on this map is 13-9. So they are proving that, well, maybe they're even up there with the best when it comes to Bind teams. Like, it's never been dominant victories against anyone. So that might be evidence that there's going to be a fight back, but for now at least, it's looking good. Now, this is, of course, going to be the bonus round, but they still have some rifles in here, Mitch. So it's not like it is just an easy walk in the park for FNATIC.
No, not at all.
Oh no.
That's as free as they come. Once that smoke fades, Magnum's on for 1 at least. Pops the flash, quite ambitious. A nice little double, triple lineup for him. Dirk is the one that actually caught Fatino, leaving Magnum with just the 3 kills. But you know what? He's already got his ulti online, so he can stop being so selfish. Just Meadow left.
Terminated.
He's gotten that lockdown back, Mitch. He wants to hold on to it for the entirety of the second half. So maybe he just likes it being lit up. So he's just got to get there first. There's no way he expects Durkin to be here. Don't you dare! You're losing 10-5. You're still going for knife kills, just the flex in your opponents. Maybe they should make it that if you knife someone, you get 2 ult orbs. Then we get to see more knives.
Yeah, I'm down for that. That sounds pretty good.
There you go, Riot.
Tom, you come up with a
Take
good
that
idea.
idea. Knife, because I don't want it to be like oh, you get crazy money, because that's boring. That's been done. We've seen that before.
Yeah.
2 ult orbs for a knife kill. I think that's it will encourage it a little bit more.
How about you instantly get your ulti online?
No. How about no? How about
Showstopper, then like pull out the knife, blast pack up to
you
someone.
got too far with that
Showstopper
one.
again.
2 ult orbs is fine. 2 ult orbs is fine.
That'd be fun though, just to watch everyone lose their mind. A lot of
Maybe
control.
in Spike Crush.
Free ult orb. Now, keep an eye on FNATIC. This is how they play this game. They will go for those ult orbs at the start of the round. They've committed the Tiger to it, went through Bath, nobody there, it's free. So that's going to be res online for Durka. Now they start to rotate over towards the B site where they'll look to push in and also claim a little ult orb on long if they can. Like, fighting for this early orb control versus FNATIC is one of the more difficult things to do because they're very varied in how they'll actually approach defending that part of the map or attacking that part of the map, depending on which side they're on. But one thing you can be for sure of is 9 times out of 10, they're going to go towards Bath at the start of the round.
Found one.
It's going to be the push coming through. Magnum, he's got very far into this side, but it doesn't matter. It's that utility combo again. Vitinho, though, he's doing his best to try and fight this one back. It's going to be a 3 versus 2. We see the lockdown put in, Mitch. Maybe that'll be the difference maker.
Maybe a lockdown used in the middle of a round impactfully. I don't believe it. But yeah, Meadow has finally found the bind, using it up here. The B side's going to be clear, but the rotates are there. They're already on A. I'm looking to actually plan from middle, crossing over from the bathroom TP play. Meadow's trying to spot someone out, but not really seeing anyone. And that lockdown might have worked a little bit too well in shifting them completely towards the other side of the map. Let's see what David P has up his sleeve. He's coming in behind. Unfortunately for him, it's the wrong behind. It's the one through middle, and they are playing a bathroom post plant for the mid plant. Strange, but it will probably work here. They have a cross. They have a crossfire still, but one less player to hold it with. This is now looking a lot better. David P tagged down to 30 HP. Meadow has to be the hero of this round. He has a duel up close, a hard shot to hit with that sheriff in hand. A little bit of time to play with, but it's just too far gone. They would rather save this rifle at this stage, grab a little exit kill along the way, and give 10-6 over to FNATIC.
Well, of course, Meadow worth going down to the spike, make sure he gets that extra finances for the next round. But yeah, an important break. But I'm always going to love those utility combos, even when they don't work. But that one was just awesome. Like, leaving players stuck at the back of the site. One of the main benefits to having not only Astra, but Sage. You can pull people in, they can't run away. And then you got the paint show on your head. So pretty much winning FNATIC the round at least. And now we're going to see what can realistically come into this round for Giants. You've got the rifle that's saved already for David P. He should still have enough finances to buy into the next round, unless he's going to spend all of his extra credit on getting those nice little stim boosts. But I have my doubts. It's probably one of the most critiqued pieces of utility in the entirety of the game. Other than that, though, I feel like this just has to be maybe a few pistols, maybe a Marshall.
Hey, if you're Hoodie, why not? You know, someone dropped that man a Marshall. Vitinho, give it to him. Go on, let him have it. A timeout from Vodafone Giants makes perfect sense at this stage of the game. Just trying to deal damage to FNATIC. You take a look at where their credits are at. Like, this is not going to be a round that Vodafone Giants come in expecting to win. But if they can just manage to push themselves into a position where they've got 3 kills, 2 even up against FNATIC, it means that those credits won't get out of control, and that connecting a follow-up round will be that much easier, which is exactly what they want when they're just 3 away from closing out this map. This can definitely get scary with FNATIC's attack side, but so far Vodafone Giants have been much more composed and much more comfortable than what we saw on that point.
For sure. The attack side of FNATIC is, especially on this map, has been, well, it's been one of the toughest things to play against in all of Valorant. Like, even taking the best of the best in Sentinels to overtime on this map in particular. Patient stuff, though, this time for FNATIC, waiting for the peaks to come through. A trade here really wouldn't be bad for David P. And considering he's got the rifle, he's got to be a little bit more careful. We did get our trusty Marshall purchased up, but for Hoodie, well, he's going to try and just stand within the paint show and survive. And while now, David P. save probably not possible. And, well, that's as blind as you can be.
Yeah, pretty much. 10-7 we go. FNATIC picking up that round in a pretty clean fashion. And for Vodafone Giants, this is going to be their investment. This is where they really get to commit to it. But I think FNATIC At this stage, they've got the credits built up. Their early round is what I'm really concerned about, though. The fact that Vodafone Giants have not been able to fight for those ult orbs successfully, and FNATIC have seen insane value out of rounds. Win or lose, they're still getting that value. That is where the danger is. I mean, I did like that there by dephh. When he came into bat, he didn't have time to deny the orb, and he took it instead, because, hey, why would he be tucked in the corner if you're taking the orb, right? Perfect position, good for one. Just a shame the other player was the Sky.
Looking like it might be a complete pace change. Wow, the orbital strike could be everything. They're trying this again, dragging players into the corner, and it's worked perfectly. Not quite the full team coming up there on the assist, but it is 3 of the 4. Orbital strike going to be put into place, but I don't think it's going to get anything, and instead Mystic combines again with Magnum to get themselves a second opener. This A site looking pretty tough to hold, but a double shock dart kill. Okay, Ambi, I see you've got those lineups.
That's not the typical double, because it's a double-double. He's got two kills with 1 shock dart. Absolutely ridiculous. And then he even connects onto Mystic with the Hunter's Fury poster coming out. Well, check his close right, and he is dead to rights. Hoodie having the angle lineup on Mystic easily, and that is a massive round for Vodafone Giants. In fact, I think FNATIC were even ready for the start of that play. The fact that the orbital strike came in, they were already moving out of position. They baited that plant 2 or 3 times to try and get that to be used up. And then when it eventually was, they thought, okay, we're going to be safe to plant. And then nades and shock darts came in to deal with both Magnum and Durka.
Beautiful.
Then a Hunter's Fury hits Mystic. That's just... it's ridiculous.
They spoke about FNATIC combos. We've just seen the other side from the Giants as well.
That was better. That retake was better than anything we saw in Icebox. Like, their comfort level is so much higher here.
Yeah, you can definitely see it. Well, goodbye, Boaster. That's about half the utility for FNATIC just disappeared in a matter of seconds, as he'll be caught. Now Doma needs to try and find some sort of trade, hoping that he's given an angle. Hoodie might actually peek this. I don't know if he's going to be expecting anybody to be that high up. The trade really needed, and they're going to get it. Rez coming through onto Boaster as well. It leaves Vitinho with quite a bit to do in a horrible position, but he gets the timing spot on. Even throws in the nade, and they're going to counter the showstopper. Vitinho goes nuclear with 3 kills of his own, and now Mystic and Boaster are the last 2 standing. They do have a Viper's Pit, and, well, they're not far off the Cosmic Divide. Not that that'll probably help too much, but the re-aggression is actually caught, and we go back to a 2v2.
But look at the HP, 45 and 25. That is not an easy position to play from. We were talking headshots only, and for Mystic, you got to be pretty close range as well. Patino's on 76 now, tucked in the corner, and the Divide is on A. They might not expect him to be here still, but it doesn't matter. Patino tears them apart and puts the ace on the board. An incredible round for him, not just for his own bravado, but because it's for 12-7. It's to put them on map point, guaranteed. They cannot be eliminated to the lower bracket off of this regulation, at least. FNATIC need 5 rounds in a row now, and that will only get them in overtime.
Yeah, he's having an unbelievable performance. Like, it is night and day from the last map. Like, the aggressive plays that he's making, not only the showstopper at the beginning, the re-peek after they get the res, like, not even during the res, after the res to find another, and then he shuts it out at the end. dephh now looking to take matters into his own hands. He's had enough of them getting that orb for free, but they are still going to get that control. Now, Vitinho's here as well. They've also got some aggressive positioning that might have actually been missed, because Meadow is hiding within their own utility. Doma, though, will just about snap to the head of Meadow. Vitinho, with a quick trade, still holding onto the bathrooms, and he just peeks out and gets another. Again, these rounds go back and forth, Mitch, and again, it's the 2v2.
Hoodie's even stuck inside that Viper's Pit, completely caught Mystic off guard, and puts Boaster in a tough spot. This is to stay alive for FNATIC and avoid a 3rd map. Fight for that overtime, and the drone is going to reveal him. It's on its way over the top. At least the plant will be found. But now Ambi has he didn't tag him. He missed.
No, it didn't get him.
He missed the tag. Oh, no. Well, he doesn't have a bounty of information because Boaster could easily be pushing behind him at this point. And you can see he's conscious of that. That's why he doesn't full stick it. Boaster will now hear that he's already got it halfway. That should prompt him to peek out, but he's seen that the player's not on the spike. The step made, and Ambi was ready to take him down. That will be 13-7. Vodafone Giants make an absolutely remarkable comeback into this map and put us into now a pretty competitive series, Tom, as we move over to map number 3 of the set.